What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rooster Built. I told y'all we was gonna work on the backhoe, and that we are. So this thing is right in the dang Arkansas sun. So I'm gonna try to get it fired up and move it around to the shade so I can do all the maintenance and whatever needs to be done on this thing, check it out good. So I'm gonna move it around. If I can get it started, I'm gonna move it around on the other side of these trees, right by the pond, and we will check this thing out. So most of these old backhoes came with 2 batteries. This one has 1 old Never Start in it. So I'm gonna try to get the cables connected and see if I can fire it up. Get these heavy duty cables out and see if this old 5.3 make enough juice to fire this thing off. So I don't know how long it's been since this backhoe ran, but I'm gonna let it sit for a minute and charge this battery up. It's nice to have some extra long, heavy duty jumper cables. Before I fire it up, I wanna make sure it's got some oil in it at least. Oh yeah. A little more than it's supposed to have. So, oh well. Probably should have brought some wall spray with me, because this thing has got to have one in it somewhere. No, there's a wasp nest. Probably a snake too. I hate wasps. There's a bird nest or a rat nest. All right, we'll see if it'll do anything. Oh, click, click, click. Yeah, she's dead. I'm gonna let it charge for a while. Get down there and check all my connections. So now I have no lights on. Let's check it out. This connection on that back one is really dang loose. So that's gonna be a struggle. I'm gonna have to wind up getting a whammer on it probably. All right, let's see if we can make it click or something. Oh, yeah. A little clickage. I might have to leave the truck on it for a while because this thing was completely dead. So growed up on this side. I hate to climb around on this thing to check it out. I really want it over there. Patience is key. I managed to get down there and wiggle that cable around and get it tightened up a little bit. So hopefully that does the trick. So I'm gonna sit here in the shade for a second. I'm gonna be patient. I'm giving it 4 minutes and then we're gonna try it. So I'll be back in a second. If 4 minutes wasn't enough, then I'm gonna let it set for like 10 or 15 or something and go over there and do some work by the pond. So here we go. Oh, I didn't do it. It's like the connection's bad. I've climbed up and down off of this sucker about 15 times now. And it's hot. I'm tired of messing with it. But the good Lord's about to look out for me right here on this one. $100 degrees out here in Arkansas today. July 5th, 2026. Tired of messing with this backhoe already. I just want it to start. Or if it was in the shade, I probably wouldn't be near that bothered by it. No comment required. Here goes nothing. I'm about to burn down. I got under there and kind of done a little bit of ingenuity type work. If this don't do it, I definitely got to have new cable ends on the battery. Well, I got connection now. Just got to let it charge for a while. I'm quite beat, but we got a connection. I'm going to show y'all what I've done. Please don't panic. I will fix this right. I'm trying to get this thing in some shorter grass or shade or something better than what I got to work in right here. So don't panic when you see this. Needed to tighten that connection up, and all I could find was a couple of screws, so that's what it got. I'm gonna let this thing charge for a little bit, and hopefully we'll hear it run. Hope this does it. Well, it actually runs. Fired right up. See what happens when I take this battery cables off. We'll see if these hydraulics work at all. Oh yeah. Nice. Pretty weak. Brakes don't work. Yeah, they do a little bit. It moves under its own power. It is leaking something. See if I can get it up here by the pond in the shade. I think I got a low tire on the front. Low hydraulics for sure, it won't turn. Got to be under throttle for it to turn. Definitely low on hydraulic fluid. So it runs and I turned it off and it's dead. Well, it moves under its own power. I got it parked in the shade. I went ahead and boomed everything out so I can grease it good. Flat tire on the front, and it's pouring what looks like hydraulic fluid up here somewhere, so we'll see what we can find out. All right guys, it is the next day. I'm out here. The truck hooked back up to it. I have looked everywhere under here. And turn this camera around where y'all can see. So it's not easy to see under here. I can't find anything that looks like an actual leaking hose. This fitting right here, right there, was a little bit loose. Snugged that one fitting up. I had about 1.5 gallons of hydraulic fluid I poured in there. All I know to do now is fire it up and see where it's coming from. I got a leak. So y'all definitely seen it spraying fluid everywhere. I think it's that hose. All right, y'all, so I found the hose that is leaking. Found one end of it. I can't find the other yet. We'll try to start this thing back up and raise the bucket up. Put this chalk in there so it don't fall on my head and kill me. Hopefully I'll get this bucket up out of the way enough. I can take these sides off and be able to get to these hoses. This thing's got a pin on the back side. I'll go ahead and pull so I'm not fighting it later. So ideally, when I raise this bucket up, that's gonna fall right on that cylinder and hold it up, and I'll let all the pressure off the hydraulics and hopefully be good to go. Let's try it. It was slow getting it there, and I don't know how much I trust it, but it's in there. So I'm gonna pull these side covers off, and I don't know if it's gonna help or not. I'm pulling this side cover off and this side cover off. Hopefully I can get in there and access the stuff. And y'all don't know this about me yet, but since I'm gonna have them side covers off, I'm gonna paint them. I paint this whole SOB. What's it? It's about to storm on me, but hey, I'm making progress today. All right, I got the side covers off where I can see in there now a little better. It ain't much better, but it's gonna be a lot easier to get around the front of this thing. It's that hose. Can't see it with the phone even. Right on the bottom is where it's blowed out. All right, so looks like I'm getting ready to call it a day. Storm's trying to move in on me. I went ahead and tore both sides, the front grill off this thing, and it is so nasty under there that I'm gonna have to pressure wash it and get it clean before I break any of those lines loose, because I don't want to contaminate my hydraulic fluid, and it is terrible. Like, it is mud and grease caked up to the point that you can't even see some of the hoses, it's so thick. I've been under there and knocked a lot of it loose. And I'll kind of show y'all what I'm working with if I can get my fat butt back down there. So, I'm gonna be able to point it out to you now because I've really been digging in. So, that bottom hose right there is the one that's leaking. It travels up that way, and as you can see, it kind of disappears into the mud and grease and whatnot. That is a steering line that comes around here. I've knocked a lot of this loose already, but that right there is the line. You can't even see anywhere to put a wrench, it's so thick, and I've already dug most of it out. So, of course, while I pressure wash under the hood, I'm gonna pressure wash this whole thing. That'll probably just give me the opportunity that I might just go ahead and paint this whole thing if I pressure wash the whole thing and get it nice and clean. Now would be the time to put some paint on where it's rusted and stuff. I might have to sand it a little bit, but that's where we stand so far. I believe I get that hose fixed, get this thing cleaned up. It started up and ran good. We're gonna put it to work. So hopefully see y'all tomorrow evening with a pressure washer. All right, y'all, it has been some days since I messed with this backhoe. I wound up renting a dozer and doing a whole lot of work over there and over there that you can't see, that I will show you in an upcoming video. But today, I finally had to get these hydraulic hoses off of this backhoe. I got it pressure washed, cleaned up. I'm gonna climb under there and see if I can break them out. We'll see what they look like. All right, y'all, I got them out of there. So, only one of these was leaking, but since it's such a pain in the butt to get to, I told myself, I said, self, change them both. So I got them out, drop them off in town, probably Monday, and put this thing back together and see if we can dig a hole somewhere. I'm getting better all the time. All right, y'all, this is the struggle of living in a small town. So a local crow burling game builds hydraulic hoses, supply the fitting, that long 90-degree fitting that is required for this steering line. So now I have to drive an hour one way to get the hydraulic hose made. So it's part of being in a small town. So here we go, rolling to Shreveport, Louisiana to get a hose made. Luckily, should be able to just go in and they're gonna knock it out and have it done, and I'll be back home today with new hydraulic hoses. All right, so I made the 1 hour drive to Bearing Services in Shreveport, and guess what? The fittings that my local hose shop didn't have, they had the 90-degree fittings. They did not have the straights. So now I'm going back to my local shop to get them to build the hose. Running. Well, boys, $313 later. And I have some hydraulic hoses. $313 for these two hoses. So, I'm gonna slap them on the backhoe. I got 5 gallons of hydraulic fluid in there. And we're gonna see if this thing will move a little dirt. Ah, crap, I forgot I got a flat tire. I didn't bring no air compressor with me. Oh well, we're gonna try to move some stuff anyways. So, here we go. All right, boys, here goes the moment of truth. I still didn't replace those cables, but I got a good hot battery on there. I know it's a hot battery, so hope for the best. Bad connection, obviously. Let me wiggle it a while. Golly. If it ain't one doggone thing. Golly. Oh well. On to the next leak, I guess, right? Well, guys, when I was working on that backhoe yesterday, I was completely exhausted. I didn't even do an outro on the hydraulic hose repair. So, as you've seen, got the hydraulic hoses on, and the doggone steering shaft is leaking. So, that'll be a separate video. So, the backhoe problems continue, but stick around, and here before long we will have the next video showing y'all how to repair those seals in the front end. So thank y'all for watching. See you on the next Rooster built video.